Guys, this is lesson 2 of creating your self-portrait. At this point, you should have resized your canvas, taken your selfie, and then cropped your selfie. Maybe you've already started the process of outlining your torso and your head, but a lot of people hadn't done that. If you have, that's awesome. We're going to go into a little more detail on that. If you haven't, that's fine too. So, of course, the first thing that we're going to do, it's time to start tracing ourselves. So check it out. Before I even start with that, so we need to make sure that we trace the bigger shapes first, and then we move to the smaller shapes. So the very largest shape on the screen is my shirt. So that would be the first thing that I do, and then I guess it's kind of a toss-up between this part of my face and my neck and ear. So I do both of those next, and then I do my hair, which is my hair, and then my beard. And then moving on to like my ear, that's my nose, my ear, my eyes. But there's something that I want to point out. So this is a new tool that we'll use today. It's a magnifying glass that helps us to zoom in. So if you click the little arrow next to it, it gives you 50%, 100%, and 200%. I'm going to go to 200% and give me a super close-up of myself. Now, when I look at something like my eye, so this is actually built of more than one shape. So I've got, of course, I guess what you could call a football shape for my actual eye. But then I also have the colored part of my eye, which, keep in mind, this is like the most annoying part to trace. Well, maybe not this one. But then in the very center, and you can barely see it in this picture, but that's okay. We know it's there, is my pupil. This is actually the one that's the most annoying to trace. Okay. So I've got those 3 shapes right there. Whoops. Get rid of that. Now, I'm going to use this other eye as an example of what not to do. I saw a student the other day trace an eye, and it looked kind of like this. Now, naturally, they were not paying attention. They weren't trying so hard, but that's not going to make your portrait look good. Something like this will make your portrait work. This will be a problem, frankly, right? So I'm going to erase all of this work that I've done. Whoops. Erase this eye. And then I'm going to get back to full screen. So if I push this arrow again and I click the fit button, then it's going to take me back to my original view. So once again, I'm going to start by outlining my torso first. See if I can do this right on my first shot. And again, this takes time. This takes practice. If you mess up on it, or if it even like takes you the whole class period just to get this part right, that's fine. We've got plenty of time. We're going to take as long as we need really on this project because, you know, we want it to come out well. We want you to be really happy with what you've done. Okay, so I've got that. It looks weird at the bottom, but that's okay. I'm going to crop that out in the end. And remember, I've got to make that transparent. Cool. So I've got that. Next, I'm going to move on to, I guess, probably my neck. Something that, I don't like that. Something that a lot of people have asked me, is it a big deal if the lines kind of overlap one another? No, that's not a big deal. That's probably better than if they don't overlap each other. Because if they don't, then there's going to be big gaps in your work. Messed up again. Let's try this a third time. So see how I'm pretty much tracing over a previous line that I had already done? Okay, so I've got that. Make that transparent. And then here again. Get rid of that color. I'll do inside of my beard. Get rid of that color, and then I'll do my hair last of all. So like I mentioned, after you get these first shapes done, and these are the only ones that I'm going to trace for you because you've got stuff to do. But I'm going to move on to doing my eyes, my eyebrows, my lips, which, by the way, are two different pieces, right? I would trace my top lip and my bottom lip. I wouldn't just do one or the other. Or I wouldn't do them both together. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's do a quick check of what I've got done. So I'm going to click on my picture. You know that you've done that correctly when there's a blue outline around it, and then I'm going to click the delete button. And that's what I'm left with. Obviously, I need my picture back, so I'm going to click the Command Z. And that'll be a different button combination on your Chromebooks if you're the class that's using Chromebooks. Okay? Well, so move on to doing your eyes, your eyebrows, your lips, your nose, your ear, if that's where you are. I guess the last thing, notice that my skin is not all the same color everywhere. I've got highlights, I've got red spots, stuff like that. We're going to outline those things too. If you get to that, you and I will talk a little bit more in person. If not, that's fine too. Cool. Catch you later, guys.